Hi guys, how you doing? Tony Schneider here, and welcome to another video on the Quit Smoking Mastery channel here on YouTube. In this video, I'm going to start a mini-series about fear that smokers have and that they transition into an abundance of excuses. Basically, that's what they are, the fear. People don't want to say, I'm scared. People who smoke, they don't want to say that I'm scared to stop smoking. But yeah, of course, there is an element of doubt, and I'm talking about self-doubt as well. But we don't like to admit that we're chickens. Who does? But at the end of the day, most people who are addicted to some kind of substances or other things, they also don't like to admit to addiction, because that obviously portrays them as weak. But that's okay. Nobody's perfect, and smokers aren't always guilty of being smokers because they have been trapped, and as you know, it's a beautiful trap. But anyway, let me talk about fear in this little mini series. I hope that you enjoy it, and don't forget, as always, you can comment, you can like, you can share, you can get in touch with me, and I'll be happy and glad to answer any of your questions, or we can just reach out and connect. Okay, right, so fear, why smokers are afraid to stop smoking. You have to remember that I guess as human beings, we experience many different kinds of emotions. Every day we can and we do experience emotions like happiness, pride, disappointment, sometimes even disgust, emotions of anticipation, etc. The few that I've just mentioned are, in technical terms, called secondary emotions. There are many others, but I don't particularly want to get into emotions right now, as they're not all relevant to the point here, as they stem from primary emotions. The primary emotions are things like love, joy, anger, surprise, sadness, and fear. Apparently, a good explanation of fear that I found was this, that fear is a response to threats and danger. Fear should be distinguished from anxiety, which typically occurs without any external threat. Additionally, fear is related to the specific behaviors of escape and avoidance, whereas anxiety is the result of threats that are perceived to be uncontrollable or unavoidable. Now, let's look at that again. What I said about escape and avoidance, what does that mean to you actually? To me, as a smoker, escape and avoidance were exactly related to the main cause of why I failed to stop smoking so many times in the past. Remember, as a smoker, I wanted to desperately stop, and I was using fear as my primary emotion and excuse to escape from going through the transition of smoker to non-smoker, addict to being free. The fear is created by a powerful force and a source that I will mention later on. The avoidance element is pretty straightforward. I used the fear of what would happen when I stopped smoking as an excuse. So this created avoidance of being an ex-smoker. That fear and avoidance is so prolific because something so powerful and remarkable that convinces millions of people, or smokers, not to quit, but to continue. And that was actually convincing me too. What was it? What was it that powerful something? I'll tell you what it is, and I'll tell you, it is the lies and deceit distributed and endorsed by your peers, the media, the government, other smokers, who believe it. It's comical lies and reasons, and you will you will hear people tell you these lies, that you're going to suffer terrible pains and you're going to suffer when you stop smoking, and you won't be able to cope with the stress, and you won't be able to think straight, you won't be able to relax, you won't be able to enjoy social activities, you'll be miserable, or you won't be able to go out and anymore. That's it, you have to stay indoors and just trudge around the house, and you won't be able to have new friends. Well, that's just stupid. That's unbelievable. They even say that you'll be bored out of your mind. Remember, boredom is just a state of mind, and these are just false reasons and false excuses that makes smokers attempt to fortify these excuses why they smoke and continue to smoke. Okay, so let's look at all of the above listed so-called fears, excuses individually, and have a better understanding of each lie, as I would like to call these lies, and myths, and hopefully eliminate possibly your own reasons why in truth you have this fear to stop smoking, or as I would also like to put it in a way, why smokers are afraid of killing the evil drug monster that is slowly but surely killing you, the smoker, killing other smokers, and I'm finally escaping from that slavery and nicotine addiction. Okay, let's look at the first one, that you will suffer terrible withdrawal pains when you stop smoking. This is probably the most common fear that smokers wishing to stop first think about. I did. I remember saying to myself, oh shit, what if I can't deal with the cold turkey? However, as I now know, and the majority of ex-smokers also know, that in reality, you won't suffer any actual withdrawal pains. You as a smoker may have this huge misconception because of other smokers who have tried and failed in the past to stop smoking. Or it might be because the TV commercials, which are quite funny, for nicotine replacement products always show a person that has stopped smoking at the beginning of the commercial getting through the difficult and somewhat painful or stressful period when they first stop smoking with the help of their product. You understand? I'll talk about nicotine replacement therapy in another video. Please remember that stopping nicotine addiction or any other drug addiction will make your body go through a noticeable change. It's obvious, and you'll get a new state. What's happening is, of course, if you've been putting on a regular basis drugs inside you, and then all of a sudden you stop, you're gonna feel something, of course, but you've got to get this into your head that when you finally stop, something that your body has become accustomed to is no longer there. So therefore that condition of comfortable state will become like a feeling of emptiness. Maybe you'll be a little restless. Addiction to nicotine is quite easy to abstain from. For me, it was more like a hunger feeling. But the good feeling is that because the smoker thinks that they are being stripped and robbed of an actual pleasure, that's what gets them all worried. I mean, what pleasure really? What pleasure is the only pleasure you will get is if you do stop smoking. Remember that the pleasure of not being addicted or having an addiction is so much more juicy than being an addict, of course. But you've got to go through some kind of change. Some smokers think that the cigarette is actually a normal day-to-day activity in their lives, and they've smoked for so long, and now smoking to them is an unnoticeable, like they don't notice. It's an automatic action. But take that away from them. Take that away from it, and they will soon notice within an hour, I'm sure. This is called addiction. This is drug addiction. Right. Here is some extremely good news. Remember, when you stop supplying your body with nicotine, there is no pain physically or suffering. The people who start to suffer are the tobacco companies and the governments. Understand? They're the people that should be suffering. Only good things start to happen, and you won't particularly, you won't particularly notice it in the beginning, but as each day passes by, you're gonna get this sensation that, hey, you know, I'm feeling different here. You've got to go through this this transitional period, and you know, and it's kind of slight, but I'm telling you the truth. You will suffer more from having the flu. You will. And anyway, trust me, believe me. Okay, so that's the first video on fear. That's just basically just to get you accustomed to the fact that you don't have to worry that you're going to suffer when you quit smoking. It's not necessary, and you can get through it. And remember, I'll keep saying this in all my videos, if there's no desire, okay, you'll not do it. It has to be something that is a true decision. Okay, I hope you like this video. Like I said in the beginning, give me a like, a comment, and pop me a question or anything, by all means, and when I get that time, I'll answer it as soon as possible. Just for those people who don't know, I do have my own business. I run a boot camp training facility, so I try to get onto YouTube and see the comments and the questions in my emails and here also on this new channel. Anyway, speak to you soon in the second video in this mini series about fear. Hope you enjoyed it. See you soon. Take care.